So I've been getting back into hobbying lately, and I wonder why not de-rust myself by speedrunning, doing a little bit of speedrunning on the Neat project. Well, the problem is that most of the fastest runs on every Neat, they are quite optimized. I'd say that they are almost impossible for me at least to beat. So for example, if I pull up one from not even a difficulty chart, this number one spot. Look at this guy's run. I mean, I would think that this is as good as this needs ever gonna get, or like as optimized as a run on difficulty chart is gonna get. So that's kind of out the window for me. Unfortunately, I do not possess the skill to battle against these savants of goddamn speedrunning here. But then when I scroll down to this area over here, there's just a giant dead spot over here. And all these needs are from area 1 where they are custom needs. And for some reason, only like the first 3 are sped run. And even then, for these 2s, these are just completion, normal completion, and he submitted it as a speed run. There's a lot of fails on this one. Uh, um, he could have definitely improved, but I'm not sure why he submitted this run, which is not very good. So I figured since I have not played Area 1 in like what 5 years? No, it's only been 3 years. So it's been 3 years since the release of Area 1, and there's only 3 runs on 3 needs. I guess no one wants to play the other ones. So why not? Why not conquer this whole area then? And that is what I did. I guess how I'm gonna do this is just gonna go through each of my runs, where most of them are just glitchless. I can't really bother with the glitch category much because I suck at wall hops. I suck at everything glitch, even laugh cliff. I can't even do that consistently. So most of them are just gonna be glitchless, with some exception because you will soon see why. So first in line we have not even Cactus Hill or just Cactus Hill. It's pretty obvious that it is a choke need, but it is still a need, and the number one spot is 6 seconds and 110 milliseconds. And the strat is quite simple, really. It could require a lot of restarting, but mostly you just have to hold jump and start so you don't get negated, or the jump reducer don't take in effect already. You know what a jump reducer is? It's a jump boost that reduces your jump. And the most RNG part of all is to hit the cactus itself for light enough so that I can actually climb onto it, which is what the world record holder did. But I myself developed a better strategy by just not even bother pushing it, just hold jump for long enough until I can reach the cactus arm, and then just from that hope that I get a good launch from the elevator to the clouds and not mess up from that part. There seemed to be a little bit delay with the wind pad at the end there, but apparently by the rules the time ends when at the exact frame you touch the wind pad. So the run ends when you touch the wind pad. That's exactly when it ends. So it doesn't matter if it takes like half a second for you to get teleported to the wind room. It matters when you touch the wind pad. And in that case, it helps me because that means my run is at 5 seconds and 440 milliseconds. Way faster than top 1. Next one in line is Not Even a Hot Blaze by PTC8, which is also the developer for the Neat project right now. His needs, they tend to be strange. They do have some questionable design choices, like this need being an easy need, yet the lava is an instant kill. It's a rising lava need. And this one itself didn't really have a lot of skips either because most of it are already patched, unfortunately. So the best I could do was just to beat it as fast as I could with the most optimal route. and then I beat it in 26 seconds. Way faster than the current record holder at 44, I'd say. The next easy neat inline is Not Even a Divinely Intricate Aerodynamics by Goodluck, Kimoni, and Flaming Long. You may know him from his videos and his very consistent upload schedules. Well, I mean, I can't really say that mine is any better. The main gimmick of this neat is that there are a lot of click blocks, which, if you could guess, it ruins the flow of a speedrun a whole lot, because you have to unshift lock and click. Yeah, it's very awkward. This one was very awkward to run. Didn't really help either that I just missed out on that whole jump. Here's the very oddly long final stretch. I'm not sure why this is made like this, because this evidently makes it so that the neat is not easy at all, easy difficulty, and it's quite the spike compared to everything else. But other than that, it's still quite manageable to run the whole way through. And I managed to get 1 minute and 3 seconds on it, which beats the record by a whole more minute. Next neat is a medium neat. We're moving up a difficulty now by Umiet, which is a former developer for the game. Means that that's so interesting. This neat itself is quite open, so it didn't really have a lot of skips either. Maybe it's a small few skips like there, where I can skip like 1 or 2 jumps. But other than that, there's no like major skips to be found. So it's again mostly just going very quickly till I get a good run and then a win. Fortunately, the end at the end part here, there's a whole moving platform section or spinner where it's quite slow, or might just ruin your run if the spinner happens to not align with the section on the outside, which is what happened to me. I think it could be optimized, but I'm not so sure myself. Either way, I can't really assure myself if it's the best possible run, because there's no record for the neat from that point. So every run afterwards is just kind of like a world record already. Okay, next neat is Not Even a Simplistic Voyages by Andrea or Kawaii 12. I probably butchered that. But I wanted to show this one in game actually, because this one has a lot of skips. Normally it's like 3 minutes long, but I made it like half a minute long. Now, important part here is that the neat itself has a jump reducer, but there's a trick here. If you restart quickly and get out the way of the jump booster at the start, you can maintain your normal jump power, because I guess because of reset delay and stuff like that, the jump booster didn't get to get activated in time. But important part, so that's kind of the whole problem with like most jump reducer needs, is that you can just do that and then get your normal power. I guess the one way you could prevent that is by putting multiple of them at spawn. But either way, now that I have my normal jump power, what I can do is grab on this truss and then just move on to the second floor immediately. There's a teleporter right above my head right now, and when I jump, it automatically makes me get into the outside section of floor 2. It's supposed to be like a safety net for if you actually go the intended way, but from that I can get into the second floor, and what I can do next with my normal jump power is just straight up get into the third floor like that, go onto this outside mini section and get on top of this button right here, and when I jump I get onto the 4th floor outside, because there's a TP over here. So from this point, what I can do is get up top this wall, get over here and do this very hard jump. This is actually the choke point of the whole speedrun for this neat, because is a hard jump. I did it pretty easily there, but normally it's quite tight. And every time I fail that, I have to restart because the run just dies right there. And from this point on, I can just move on to the last part, doing this final skip like that, and get into the wind pad over there. But I won't be doing that right now, because if I were to do that, I would be kicked for skipping the checkpoint in this need. Now what I didn't know before doing all this was whether or not I could skip a need like that, get kicked, and the run still counts. But apparently yes, it does count. So even though I did it again without skipping the checkpoint, which is right over here, you have to touch this part to get the checkpoint. And if you don't know what checkpoint are already, it's invisible blocks that you have to hit so that the game doesn't kick you. And yeah, so by hitting that, I can beat the need. And so I did that without getting kicked. But it doesn't matter because I can just submit the run that is getting kicked anyways. That's how I speedrun this one. It was quite fun to abuse the shit out of this need from just having normal jump power, which made it a bit more enjoyable than just doing the whole thing normally but faster, like most other needs anyways. So from that, I managed to get a run of what, 24 seconds and 700 milliseconds. Pretty fast, I'd say. Especially again, since this need is supposed to be quite long with the whole jump power reduced and stuff. 24 seconds. It's pretty fast. Next is not even a sense of comfort by Flaming Long once again. And again, the same thing with the last need. I skipped the whole jump power by holding jump at the start. And once again, what that means is that I can just skip everything by high jumping or just getting on top of stuff and walls and doing all of that. This is actually a choke point for me. I don't know why. It's kind of far, but not really. It just fails a lot there. But then from this point on, I have to do a normal high jump flick like this onto this part, if I can do it like that. I don't know why, but that's like really hard for me to do for some reason. I just suck at the game, I guess that's just probably the reason. And at first I didn't even know if whether or not doing a normal high jump like that was even allowed as a glitches run, but apparently it is. Only stuff like lag high jumps counts as actual glitches. So I was able to do it normally at that. And from this part, I just have to get on top of this weird little gap that he made for some reason and get onto the last floor like that. A bit tight, but it's not. It's like 10 seconds in, it's not too much like time wasted or anything. And from that, I can just get to the wind pad and win, because I skipped everything without the jump reducer. Woohoo, right? And with that, I got a time of 11 seconds and 530 milliseconds. Great. Definitely the intended way to beat it, right? Now the next need is supposed to be not even ongoing amusement, but at the time when I was doing these runs, the need was broken. It was technically still possible, but I didn't know that until then, until now actually. So I just skipped it because I reported the problem, but it's been a week, it's still been fixed, so I just moved on to the next one, which turns out to be not even a ferocious forcefield by Bacon Pigs. And this need sucks a lot of shit. The very first thing you met with is just wrap gameplay, walk around gameplay, and this is ass to do on a speed run where you have to go as fast as you can. So I had to do a lot of restart on this, and I had to spend a lot of time, which is not fun at all. This need just isn't fun. speedrunning at least. And didn't have a lot of skips either, even though it's very empty. A lot of stuff will block. The only skip I found is this high jump on this thin studs. And again, with high jumps, since I suck at them, I always fail the run at that. Even though it's just a normal high jump, I just have to flick my mouse. It's a high one, but it's just a high jump, and I can't do it for like a lot of attempts. There's just a lot of frustration on this one. There were good runs where I do the flick first try and then just fail a normal wrap, and then there were just runs where I just can't even do the flick at all. I undoubtedly got very upset at this and probably said some horrid slurs that I probably can't put in the video, but thank God I didn't record my voice anyways. Either way, I got the flick on a good run and then was finally able to do just normal wraps, and I failed them so many times. That's a small skip. I only skipped one jump there, but doing that though, skipped like 4 jumps, which is huge time save, and then touch wind pad, and I beat it in 19 seconds. Not to mention also, I went out of my way to see if there's anyone with better times than me, and I found like a bunch of them for like around less than 10 seconds, even though this one took me 19 with skips to beat, which is very strange, isn't it? Because it turns out they were cheating, and all of them probably got, but most of them got banned because they cheated. I don't know why would you ever cheat in the neat project of all things, and even then, I'm not sure why would you even bother beating everything in like less than 30 seconds, which basically is a very obvious check to do, because there's no humanly possible way to beat it in that short amount of time. So that's something, I guess. Okay, next one, not even a deterred, agitation by my good friend Kimoni WH. And this need sucks to speedrun. It's very open and big, as you can see, but there's like practically no skips you can do on this one. He meticulously like patched everything, or just made it so that there's no like single possible skips you can do on this whole thing. And not to mention the whole gameplay of it, it's also very awkward. There's once you need to do some flicks. That's very awkward already, and then you have to do corner flips and direction changes every single time, which does not help with the time at all. But then here's is the button hunt section, which then you gotta hope that you get the right amount of bounces on these like cylinders, so you don't get stuck anywhere like that. It's just 4 buttons, but still, it's like it's quite the drag, because you can't really skip anything. So the only way to speedrun it is just going as fast as you can, like the first 2 needs. Maze really simple, just gotta go here. And so I tried my best and got a nice time of 59 seconds and 740 milliseconds, almost a minute. Thankfully, if it wasn't, I'd probably tried running it again, and that would have been quite painful. Not even a twist and turns by the Burbs Ward, a well-known builder, I think. This need is very painful to play and to speedrun, mainly because of floor 1. Floor 1 is so awkward to play compared to every other floor, because the whole thing is there's not a lot of skip in this one either. It's just mainly going fast. So with that, I at least try to do the first floor as fast as I can by doing this weird little bounce at the beginning, just holding the spacebar and jumping off of the ladder gap at the beginning, so that I can just do the first inside very quickly, like so. I mean, that's like the only time skip I can do apart from this one, which probably loses time even more. I skip like a whole small little gap you go to on the right side there. And most of the time the run just ends like that because I don't know, maybe I'm inconsistent. And it's just doing that over and over again for like tens of attempts until I can at least get to the second floor over here. And at this point on, it's just playing the need normally until the end. And even then, I managed to fail over here, which loses like 4 seconds. But I mean, like, I played this thing for like 3 hours straight, and that's the best run I got, so I might as well just submit it. Because I could not stand playing this one any longer. It's just so not fun to play or to run. This is definitely one of the runs that could have been more improved upon if I just didn't fall there. But the special thing about this need is that I did a glitch run of it as well by doing a wall hop at the first floor on that cylinder over there, which basically skipped the whole outside section on the first floor, which saves a lot of time and pain. And that's basically it. That's one small little wall hop I just had to do to get the glitch run of this. And compared to the normal version, saves like more than 20 seconds, which is way better. I mean, with an easy wall hop like that, that's the the least I could have done. So that's the first glitch run of everything, which is nice. You know, I like to think that at least could do some glitches now and then. Not even a very frequent falling by Minecraft game dude in RKHF. This one was also immensely painful to run. Mainly for some reason, after just this specific need, after restarting like maybe 15 times, the FPS goes from 144 to 40 somehow. I don't know how that happens just on this singular need, but that's just how it goes. And every time that happens, I had to rejoin the game, which was not very fun to do. And another reason is that this need basically have like 0 skips. It's another just very open need, but everything is so tall that you can't just high jump anything at all. So you're forced to just play the need as it is quickly, and so it was very painful as well, as you can probably imagine. I mean, there's not much else to say apart from I just have to play it quickly. That's really it. Nothing notable at all, really. I guess apart from the fact that the spinners are glitching to hell right now because I don't know. I know what happened to the whole area. Like every single spinner is just like spazzing out like that. It's just normal gameplay until the end where there's a whole no walk, no jump section. Gotta hit the buttons in the right order. And the funny part about this is that you can just skip it without doing that. I do it like this, but not really like that because I just failed. You gotta utilize the fact that the buttons are still 1 stud higher when it's not pressed like that, to be able to press the buttons on the other side without having to get the bridge. And this part I can't go up immediately because I have to wait for the jump remover to get rid of my jump slowly, because I had to learn that myself. So I had to wait there a little bit on my actual run so that my jump reducer is removed fully into the wind path. Now for the glitch side of this need, there's a bunch of stuff that is possible because most of these walls are not wall hop proof, so you can just hop on them. So like something like over here, you can hop on this thing and hop on the frame to this other side, which skips like half of the first floor. I can't do that though because that's just too hard for me to do, unfortunately. And apart from that, there's not much else skips you can do really, apart from this one part that I found over here. You can do a lag high jump right up to this platform over here. Let's see, I can do it real quick. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. And from that, you can touch this thing, which, because the teleporter is sticking out, you can get TP to the last floor immediately and do this whole part. Just like that. Wait a little bit. Yeah. It's definitely possible on glitches, but I suck, so I can't do it. Let's move on to definitely not a good idea. The first citadel of the whole area by the Burbs word. Now normally this DNAC, or let's just call it citadel, the citadel is very long. So it's like 5 minutes long if you play it normally. And thankfully there's a bunch of skips you can do for it, which I used. This whole push box sections are here is already very time consuming. The only save you can do is just can use one less push box by putting one of them in the middle over here, so that the second one can slide down and hit that button. And the inside sub doesn't really have that much skips at all, so it's mostly just normal gameplay until you get outside, which is over here. And the Citadel just has so much gameplay to everything, even inside the outside. And there's a broken spinner, because why not? Either way, here's the first skip on the outside, doing this. And that skip like maybe 5 jumps, so it's a minor skip, it's not that bad. But over here though, it's a major skip. Normally you're supposed to go over here, do this button time section, and hit the zip line. But from here, you can just do this jump to this section immediately. Yeah, skip this whole part. And over here, what you're supposed to do is get these morphers, and then yeah, get into this balloon section, and then onto this whole thing. But screw that. What I'm gonna do is get this balloon and then just head out on my own onto this little pillar over here, which is supposed to be like 80% of the gameplay in, so I'm skipping like a whole mostly of everything with just that whole balloon skip. And yeah, the spinners are quite broken. And I'm onto this section. It's basically the penultimate section, because normally if you go by this thing, you have to go from the blue floor all over here to the purple or around, and then you have to do this whole 2-minute floor section with lower jump power, and then finally it TPs you to this little small section over there. And then I just skip everything by doing that balloon skip. Unfortunately, there's still like these two push box section, and push box is the bane of my existence, so I suck at doing them. And even if I can do them, they are still very slow to do. You have to do this, get over here and do this one, and it opens up the end, and you can reach the wind path. So even with all those skips, it still took 2 minutes 20 seconds and 820 milliseconds to beat it. And even on the glitches side, there's one skip you can do, which I did on a natural run, which is this one singular wall hop, which for some reason is very hard for me to do. You get over here, which then skips this side of the purple floor. It's a smaller skip, not really that huge. But since we are doing glitches, this is also possible. If I can pull it off, that is. Whatever, I'll just show you the clip of me doing it. You just get to this outside last push box section immediately. You just have to do that and beat the need like 2 times faster than the glitchless route. Yeah, I just entirely skipped this whole citadel with all of that, which is great. So much fun, right? Alright, it's time for the first remorseless need. Now even a PT by PTC8. And the fun thing about this need is that it is a jump reducer. Alright, so we're just gonna do that. Although it is quite inconsistent for this need for some reason. So yeah, I got my normal jump power, so I can do a little bit of high jumping on this thing, but I suck. And then sometimes it's weird. For some reason, this need, if you do get your normal jump reduced or jump removed, this is like a chance that it still applies to you like 15 seconds in. And I don't know why. It's weird because like I opened up this whole need in studio myself. It doesn't, there's only one jump reducer in the bottom, but for some reason sometimes when I get past like this floor, like I get my jump reducer applied even though I don't know, it's just weird. So even if I start out normal like that, I got my jump reduced even though in my actual run it doesn't. Like it feels like there's some RNG involved. I can't tell. So what I did in my actual run is to, well, mostly hope that I don't get my jump reduced, because with that not being applied, I just skipped like the whole of every floor imaginable. Yeah, everything is basically quite skippable with normal jump power once again, and that's the end. I don't know, it's like a 1 in 20 chance or something where I just don't get the jump booster added. At first I did thought that I couldn't, so whenever I got to this floor I just did it normally until on one of the runs I noticed that my jump power was still normal. So I decided that let's just roll the dice, and whenever I get my jump normal I'll just do the whole run. It took quite a while because it's RNG, I don't know. But I did beat it quite quickly in 21 seconds, 809 milliseconds. Okay, next one, not even an open frame ascension. The lead itself is very open and there's not a lot of skips to it. So there's just normal gameplay again. Even stranger though, that is some of these client objects are timed very weirdly, so even if I get to this beat block as fast as I could, I can't just jump into it. I still have to wait for its cycle to finish so I could do the trust flick over there. And the only skip I managed to find is doing that, but not fail it like that. So like that. That's the only skip that I managed to find, and it only skipped like maybe saved, and it only saved like maybe a second at most. And apart from that, it's just normal speed gameplay again. Yeah, I did I hesitated a little bit at the end there because I thought I didn't get to the top yet, but I did. So maybe a few seconds can be saved there. I don't know. For the second Citadel, definitely not a Frosted Flames by PTC8. It has a jump reducer, so you know what time it is. Skip. Bing. If I can get it even. Alright, here's my route. Oh wait, this one is, oh my god. This one is not a practice compatible. What I did here is just getting through this curve break, getting on top of everything, basically. It's just the only one real hard jump gotta do. From this one to over here, gotta grab this ledge real careful or else you just fall and have to restart. There we go. From that, just do that wrap. Skip everything. Use my hand to touch the transporter. And this floor is just normal gameplay with, well, the added jump power, so it's less harder to do. Yeah, there's a falling platform there. It's got a whole jump there, I forgot. Here we go. Just gotta get outside, do this jump, do this nice little high jump, and then onto the next floor, which not much to do other than that risky little flick over there, which leads us to the last floor. Yeah, very quick, isn't it? Just a few more jumps and you're at the wind path. Even though the original route you're supposed to do is to this whole basement down there and to this 3 little floors as well. Skipping a whole lot of stuff, I have to say, and you win. Yeah, I basically skipped like 80% of the need just like that and got a time of 30 seconds and 700 milliseconds. It's great. Well, isn't it time for soul crushing needs? There's 3 of them and all of them are intense. Wait, insane. God damn it. Well, let's just move on to the first one that I beat. Now, an acrophobic nightmare by Tree Nighter. You may know him from his tower, the dripping amalgam, and I don't know anything else that he made really. This one though, of his sucks a lot of ass, and I had a lot of pain speedrunning this one. Because I mean the gameplay is just not all there really. Like the first thing you're met with is a set of insta kill spinners. Yeah. So if you actually just touch them, you die for no good reason. There's no good reason for them to be there. There's no point for them to be there also. And it would have been way better if they weren't there, because if you were to fail this first jump, which is quite common, you'll probably fall into the insta-kill, and if you just press the reset button like a split second on when you die, you don't get reset and you have to walk all the way back into this whole need, because that's so fun, right? I love doing that. I love having to walk my ass all the way back to the need, because for some reason there's insta kills. And yeah, so if you look at this need, it's very huge outside heavy. So the outside, they don't have like any skips at all. There's some in the inside, thankfully, because if not, this would have been way more painful than it already is. Alright, so the first thing I found was if I got on top of this normal path, I jump onto this ramp instead of getting up there. I can just, well, grab the next platform on the next floor and then just complete it instantly, and then move on to this not very nice little kill brick spam section, which doesn't even work properly because these platforms are too low, so you're just constantly touching the kill bricks anyways. So that's just great, right? It is. So thankfully I discovered another better way to do it. Instead of just grabbing that ledge, I could just move over here and then touch the teleporter inside with my arms reaching out, and then get moved onto the no jump section. Unfortunately, this no jump section doesn't have any skips to it, so it's just you just have to do it normally. And there's a broken clown object for some reason. You can do a high jump over here, which only skip this wrap, which is, I mean, it's okay. If you can do high jump consistently though, it's gonna skip you like half a second, which is better than what I can manage, I guess. Well, from that, this whole like outside, it's so painful. For some reason, I don't know why he made it so long and so like it's just not necessary. It's just not good as well, because every jump you can fail, and you fail, you have to reset all the way, because that's so fun, right? Okay, so there's not much to say about the outside for me, other than, well, there's this little thing. This platform is 3 studs wide, but it's only really 1 stud wide for some reason, so that's fun. And other than that, there's nothing else to really make a mention about, other than the fact that for some reason the practice range for this need is very small, even though it's extended all the way over there, but it's small for some reason. This part is kind of annoying. You have to alternate jumps, and for some reason you get pulled away from these platforms for some reason, so you have to hold A and D on them. I failed a lot on this next part because, well, because I suck, but it's not very easy either. So it's great because every time I get a run 1 minute in, I just fail these consecutive jumps because it's a great gameplay. That's why. And even then, I got to the end section, which is over here, but I can't even reach it because again the range is too small. This end part is not hard at all, but I failed this jump over here because I hit my head, and I failed this wrap because for some reason I got stuck in between the platform. It's just not very fun. I spent like maybe 6 hours doing this one. A lot of time, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just thankful that it's all over now. I can move on from this need forever because this one sucks. This one sucks to play. It's just not fun at all. Oh my god. Not even a day and night by Burp Watch. This one is it's okay. It wasn't the worst to run. It wasn't the best either. So immediately there's already a bunch of skips. There's this whole first 2 floors, which is quite terrible to do normally, but well, you can just skip them. The first thing you can do is just grab onto this ledge and do a jump to the side over here because there's a large open space. And there we go, that's the first floor. And normally when you get done with the first floor, you're supposed to go over here from this indicator. Fuck that and just do this. And then boom, you're done with the 2 floors. Great. Now for these next floors, there's practically no skips you can do. This whole part you have to do normally. And yeah, even when you get to the night part of the whole neat, it's just normal gameplay. And this one is not particularly easy either, mostly because of this terrible tightrope you have to do like that, and you have to do this walk around. Even after that, this floor with this very inconsistent jump, you're supposed to jump from here to here. It doesn't look very hard, but there's this little cylinder which can make you sink down and sometimes fails to jump, because that's just great game design, isn't it? And it's just because of this singular cylinder I get fucked every time, and I don't like getting fucked. It's that simple, but the game just doesn't want to make it not happen. So just a lot of pain on this one singular floor. But thankfully, after getting past it all, here's one major skip that skipped this whole basically floor. Just gotta get over here and line up your jump and grab this ledge, and there we go. Now you can do the last like 3 jumps, where it's still very inconsistent and slow to do because it's great neat. Yeah. And so I got my run at 1 minute and 9 seconds and 250 milliseconds. Great. And now for the glitches side, because I did found some skips with them. So here's a weird part. So normally this part, or well, when I checked this neat in the studio as well, there's no like safety net teleporters at all. So if you were to fall, you just die in the old version of this neat apparently, which is crazy, by the way. I mean, it's not like it makes it a lot of harder, it just makes it way less shitty to play. Right, so with that, there's a safety net over here that TPs you up here, which you can try to get by doing a wall hop on this little wedge over here. But not only you have to do the wall hop, since well, there's a wall over here that blocks you from skipping all the way up. You have to do a wall hop, but twist your player to the left like this so that your arm reaches the teleporter. It's like so inconsistent though. I can pull it one in like 15 tries, so it's not the best skip ever, but it is a skip. It skips the whole floor, so it's whatever. Anyway, for the over here, what I can do is do a lag high jump from this part to this one. It's not easy to pull either, but way easier than the wall hop one though, that's for sure. There. So you can just skip this whole floor and go over here and wait, like this. You can try to walk into this thing. Come on, there we go. Which gives you access to this side, and then just do the route that I did on the normal glitchless version. Skip everything, skip the skip, and yeah, you can beat it way faster with glitches, but it's way too hard for me. So I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, or playing this neat again anytime soon either, because this one took like maybe 3 to 4 hours to just get a good run, and thankfully the good run I got was the best run I could have got. So that I'm done with this one. It's time for the last neat, which is not even a skull emoji. Like Umiet, Zubes, Kimoni, Kirby, Games, and Inane7. A lot of people. Everyone had their own floors. This neat it had to be one of the worst one I played overall from this whole video. Alright, just get onto the skips. Small skip, but you have to do it every attempt to get to the top of the roof as fast as you can. And it leads you to this inside part, which you can't really skip it. And so it's mostly normal gameplay until you're past this little mini floor here. Right here. Now normally what you're supposed to do is do a ladder grab and then move onto this floor, but what you can do instead is do this, and it just skips the whole floor over here, and this whole floor sucks to play, by the way, so thankfully that is skippable. Even then, it's not over yet. You're only getting to the hardest part of this whole neat, which is Zubes' floor. Yay. You may know him from making Heck Defense, which is a defense tower defense game. Unfortunately, he sucks at making gameplay apparently, because this whole section sucks. Okay, first thing is this whole trust jump. I don't know, because if you try to jump, you get launched too far away from this platform, and I guess not to mention the whole darkness lighting changer he put in for some goddamn reason. So this jump's already extremely inconsistent, because one time you can just do that, and then the other time you just can't do it. You can try doing a flick like that, but that's pretty hard to do. Or sometimes you can just do that, I guess, but most of the time it's like that, and it's not very consistent, let's just say. And I had a lot of time on these outside section as well, because it was very dark, which what I did then was just to pull out my lantern I had from beating deep darkness to just aid me with this one jump to this wedge over here. This jump also sucks a lot because you're in a very tight space, and yeah, it's just hard to make it out. You just have to hold D or hold A a lot longer, so that a character can get out more and make the jump to the truss. Now this floor, there's just one singular choke point here, which is this jump, and it failed a lot because I don't know, I guess it just sucked at 10 stats for some reason. Like, it's not hard, but for some reason I failed like 4 times that one, which sucks a lot of shit. Anyways, don't cheese anything here, but guess what? You can just do this because you're not touching the instas over here. So you can skip that and then do this and do this, and you basically just skip all of this red part of this final floor by doing that, which helps a lot. Now, next jump here is a thrust flick to this thing, but you can also just jump to the wedge itself, which saves a lot of risky shit can happen from just that thrust flick alone. From this floor section, there is 4 in 1 for some reason. It's 4 floors in 1 floor and it's not counted as a citadel. Lol, I don't know. Yeah, there's one skip. You can just skip like 3 jumps by doing this, and then from that point on the rest is just normal-ish gameplay. There's not much to worry about. Even this last yellow part is very easy, and yet I failed one somehow. It's really the easiest part of Neat, and yet I failed. And yeah, to the wind pad. So this whole Neat, the only choke points are this one, but it's not really hard. This whole blue section, this one since that, and then this, yeah, this last part has many choke points. From that, I got a time of 1 minute and 31 seconds and 850 milliseconds. That was fastest time, I think. Probably if you go a little bit faster than me, then you can probably beat it. Either way, for the glitch stuff, I mean, realistically, the only glitch you can do is over here. You can try to high jump up here and then skip this terrible jump. You can't really skip the outside, you just have to do it normally. And I mean, I guess if you go on the normal path to the actual normal path for the last 4 here, you can do a left cliff just to the yellow part, which is the last part. Just do a left cliff here. Left cliff? Left clip. And you just have to be careful still, because when you're doing a left clip, you're holding S, which means you go back too far and you fall down. So if you actually do it, you have to tap W to not fall down. And that's really the only glitch skip I could find on this whole thing. And that's basically it, right? Oops, never mind, there's still not even an ongoing amusement left. Because apparently, even if it's broken, there's still some skip I could do that beats it. Not even an ongoing amusement by Pyro Lover A. And the thing about Pyro Lover A's Neat is that they are only outside sections, and they are heavily filled to the brim with client objects. But now for this specific one, there's a few skips. That saves a lot of time, because normally this one would be also very long without any skips. If you couldn't tell already from the amount of stuff. Okay, first skip. This one, this little wrap, skips like 5 jumps, so it's a minor skip, but it is a nice skip. Bit hard to do as well. Now, these are just normal stuff gameplay until you get to this thing, because what might look like now is I will stand on this thing, it would go down, and vice versa. But if I try to do that, then yes, this is normal. Yeah, it's kind of impossible to do or to play normally if you were to do so, which is kind of sucks. But what you can do right now is to do this. When you get onto this part, instead of trying to get over, you just do this. Just high jump onto the platform up top here. Now I think doing that in a fixed version of the Neat is still like around the same amount of time as the actual run that I got. So it shouldn't affect too much of time, even though the Neat is, the floor is pretty broken, but you know. Anyway, by getting up top here, I basically just skip this whole, like, everything of floor 1 here. And not only that, I can do this jump onto this invisible wall up here, right onto the second floor. And just by getting over here, I already skipped like this whole half of floor 2, which is nice. And just go on normally, and then immediately I am on the last floor, which is great. because I just skipped like basically a 60% of the whole need, which is like 5 jumps. And well, there's nothing else to skip up to this point. It's just mostly playing normally because there's nothing else you can just high jump and stuff. There are glitches though, but that it's just normal version right now, a glitchless version I meant. Alright, now we're on to this section, which is named the progress section, which is also coincidentally my name, because back then I used to make a lot of repetitive rap gameplay like this whole thing, which gave them the idea to make a section named after me. Ain't that cool? Well, anyways, here's the next skip. Normally what you're supposed to do is get over here onto this TP, which TPs you over here and then gives you less speed and no jump. But what you can do instead is just do this wrap, not even a wrap really, and hit this button and do this no jump section with faster speed and with your jump still included. So yeah, that saves a lot of hurdles, because doing that with no jump and slower speed is quite difficult. Anyways, on to the end now. This part can get quite orangey and may get you stuck a little bit like that also, so it might lose like a few seconds there, and then after that it's just the end. This is to the end. Now if you were to hit one of these neon blocks, it would teleport you to the start of the floor all the way back. So I had one really good run at like 1 minute and 55 seconds, and I was gonna beat it at 1 minute and 58 seconds, but unfortunately I touched the teleporter, because what I did was I held the X pusher all the way through, and turns out that the X pusher range extend way beyond the wind pad, so when I hit the wind pad it bounced me back into the teleporter, which made me a little bit upset, a little bit, just a little bit, you know. So fortunately, even though I got literally my best run ever, I lost it to the X pusher. So I tried again for like a few minutes more, and I got a run of 1 minute 58 seconds. Oh wait, no. The my best one was gonna be 1 minute and 56 seconds, but then I got fucked by the end, and so I got my best second run of 1 minute and 58 seconds instead of 50 milliseconds. I mean, it's only 2 seconds, but you know, it's 2 seconds I could have saved and been way happier. Well, anyway, time for the glitch version. There's only like a few things I know to do here. First thing is to get back on the search section here, and yeah, on this jump, just jump like a few jumps into the actual floor. Can high, oh no, not high jump, but get on top of this button platform and do a high jump on top to the platform over here, which apparently is very hard for me to pull off for some reason. But anyway, if you get on top of this, you can basically just skip everything, walk over here on top of this invisible barrier to this one, on top of another invisible barrier, and grab the last platform to the end over there, just like that. There's another spot you can do it on, this whole my section. You can high jump up here, and then, well, you can just walk all the way over here around to it again. Yeah, that's the only glitch skips that I found. Well, that should be everything. That took a lot of hours of my life that I will never get back. But hey, at the very least, I got to experience everyone to its fullest, right? I'm done.